Okay, guys, I'm going to read chapter 42. That last chapter really got me. Bradley tried writing a letter to Carla. His father had suggested it. He crumpled up a piece of paper and threw it in his waste paper basket. He didn't know what to say to her. The words he wanted hadn't been invented yet. Ronnie hopped along singing, doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. The other animals were taking another vote. We took another vote, the lion told Ronnie. We like you the best. I like all of you the best too, said Ronnie. Bartholomew walked up to her. I love you, Ronnie, he said. Will you marry me? Yes, said Ronnie. And I saved you from the quicksand too, said Bartholomew, and so you didn't die. That's good, said Ronnie. I'm very glad to hear that. Colleen, wearing a new red dress, anxiously waited for her guests to arrive. Except for Lori and Melinda, she hadn't told anybody else that there would be boys at the party. The doorbell rang. Her heart jumped. She hoped it would be Jeff, and she also hoped it wouldn't be. She composed herself and opened the door. It was Judy and Betty. They each gave her presents. Ooh, what is it? Colleen asked as she took each gift, but of course they didn't tell her. Who else is coming? Asked Judy as the three girls sat and waited in the living room. Colleen counted on her fingers, naming her guest. Well, there's you two, Lori and Melinda, Karen, Amy, and Dina. She paused and then she said the last two names very quickly, and Jeff and Bradley. Bradley? Questioned Betty. Bradley Chalkers? Oh, no. Judy looked like she was about to faint. You didn't say there were going to be boys at your party, said Betty. Didn't I? Colleen asked innocently. I thought I did. I don't think I'm allowed to go to a boy and girl party, said Judy. Okay, but you already gave me your present, said Colleen. They decided to stay. When the bell rang again, all three girls screamed, but it was only Amy and Dina. Amy and Dina were dressed exactly alike, right down to their shoes and socks. They were best friends, and their parents often took them shopping together. They always bought the same clothes. Then before a party, or even just before school, they would call each other up and decide what to wear. Today, it was a blue dress with white and yellow flowery things. Colleen invited boys, Betty told them. Bradley Chalkers, said Judy. Amy and Dina looked at each other in horror. Colleen took their presents from them before they could change their minds. Both presents were wrapped in the same purple and green paper. Karen was the next to arrive. Colleen invited boys, everyone said as she stood at the door. Her mouth dropped open. Bradley Chalkers, said Betty. And the new kid, said Amy. Jeff Fish Food. Karen was very shy and quiet. If there were going to be boys at the party, she might not say one word at all. The doorbell rang. Everyone except Karen screamed. She held a pillow in front of her face. It was Lori and Melinda. Colleen invited boys, everyone greeted them. Jeff Fishnose and Bradley Chalkers, said Dina. So? We already knew that, Lori said, as if it was no big deal to her. Oh, well, nobody else did, said Judy. The 8 girls waited. They talked and laughed about how much Colleen would like her presents. They asked her what there would be to eat and what games they would play. The one thing they didn't talk about was boys, though it was the only thing each of them were thinking about. When Colleen told Dina there would be a 3-legged race, the room turned very quiet. Each girl wondered if she would have to run with a boy. Colleen planned to run the 3-legged race with Jeff. It didn't occur to her that if she was partners with Jeff, another girl would have to be partners with Bradley. It was starting to get late. A new worry slowly crept into each girl's head. What if the boys didn't show up? It suddenly seemed that the party wouldn't be any fun at all without boys. Where are they? Colleen's mother walked into the living room and counted heads. 8. Who's missing? Nobody answered. Oh, the boys, said Colleen's mother. Well, we can't wait too much longer. Colleen looked like she was about to cry. Where were they? The doorbell rang at Bradley's house. Bradley was wearing a cone-shaped party hat. Ran to the front door and flung it open. He had a wild look in his eyes. Hi, said Jeff, holding Colleen's present under his arm. You ready? He was wearing old, comfortable clothes, blue jeans with a small hole above the knee. It's wrapped with a bow! What? Uttered Jeff. Bradley ran back into his parents' bedroom. It's got to be wrapped with a bow. She cut off a piece of tape and smiled at her son. I'm wrapping it now. Okay, good. He returned to the front door. My mother's wrapping it now. He had been running around the house that way all morning as he desperately tried to get ready for the birthday party. He had already changed his clothes 6 times. He didn't even know what he was supposed to wear. He didn't know what he was supposed to do. He didn't know what he didn't know. Claudia had given him the party hat to wear. She told him he wasn't allowed to take it off. They wrapped my present at the store where I got it, Jeff said. Bradley hardly heard him. Are you supposed to wear torn pants? What? He ran into the kitchen. He took a sharp knife from the drawer next to the sink and he cut a hole in his pants just above the knee. When he returned to the front door, Jeff was standing inside the house. Claudia was with him. Is my hat on straight? Bradley asked his sister. She looked him over. It's hard to tell because your head's crooked. Mrs. Chalkers came down the hall holding Colleen's present in front of her. See? All wrapped. Hello, you must be Jeff. I'm Bradley's mother. Hello, Mrs. Chalkers, said Jeff. It doesn't have a bow, Bradley shouted. Oh, I couldn't find any ribbon, said his mother. He stared at her in disbelief. It needs a bow. Doesn't it need a bow? No, said Jeff. Oh, okay, he said happily. He took the present from his mother. She kissed him and told him to have fun. He and Jeff started out the door. Oh, Bradley, said his mother. You ripped your pants. I know. He closed the door. They headed up the sidewalk toward Colleen's. She lived 2 blocks away. Do you want my bow? I can take it off. Bradley nervously shook his head. Are you all right? Jeff asked. Said Bradley. He tried to say I'm okay, but his mouth didn't work. You're acting kind of strange. Well, I mean, even for you. Bradley sighed and stopped walking. What's the matter? Jeff asked. Bradley trembled. He felt the same way he did when he first tried to turn in his homework. I don't know what to do at a birthday party, he said, shivering. Jeff laughed. Bradley sat down on the curb. I haven't been to one in 3 years. Jeff looked impatiently up the street and then down next to his best friend. Well, there's nothing to worry about, he said assuredly. Birthday parties are fun. How many birthday parties have you been to? Jeff shrugged. I don't know, a lot. What do you want to know? Everything. Okay, said Jeff. First, take off that dumb hat. So while the 8 girls anxiously waited, Jeff was patiently trying to teach Bradley everything he knew about birthday parties. That's it. Bye, guys.